Karate Kid Legends is the newest entry in the Karate Kid franchise, this one featuring a new Karate Kid played by Ben Wayne. Ben Wayne plays this new character, Li Fan. He and his mother had moved from China to New York, and while he was in China, he was a Kung Fu student training under Master Han, Jackie Chan. Now he's in New York, he starts hitting off with this girl whose father runs a pizza joint. He's kind of involved with some shitty people. Among these shitty people is a sensei of a karate dojo that has a great student who's a bully, starts picking on him and this girl that he likes. Along the way results in him enlisting in a tournament to take this guy on while he's being trained by not only Mr. Han, but also Daniel LaRusso from the original Karate Kid. That's right, Ralph Macchio's back in this movie too. I'm a massive fan of the original Karate Kid. For me, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, that was for me what Rocky is for a lot of people. And I say right now, Rocky is absolutely a superior movie. I love Rocky as well, but the Karate Kid just spoke to me in particular. I mean, I grew up doing martial arts, and I did karate for a very long time, so that's a movie that just spoke to me more. Great underdog story. I love Daniel LaRusso as a character. I loved Mr. Miyagi as a mentor. I just think it's genuinely one of the best movies ever. And then we got the TV show Cobra Kai, which served as a continuation to the entire franchise. I gotta tell you, Cobra Kai was way better than it had any right being. It provides closure to so many different characters, introduced new characters for us to care about. Seeing Ralph Macchio and William Zabka just lead the series the way they did, I thought the show was fantastic. And because that show was so great, it really reinvigorated my love for the Karate Kid. As a result, Karate Kid Legends kind of became a movie I was highly anticipating. It was nice to see the original Karate Kid universe kind of merge with the remade Karate Kid that we got back in, what was that, 2010, 2011? Felt like it was going to bring on a new franchise, a new continuation. I was excited to see it. And after seeing Karate Kid Legends, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I got a lot of problems with this one. Okay, I will get the positives out of the way. I thought Ben Wayne did well in this movie. I believe this is, if it's not his first movie role, it's one of his first. And he is a character that I could get behind. He was likable, he was a good kid, he was a good student. I would say the selling point for his character, and what was probably the selling point for this movie actually, was the relationship that he did develop with this girl. Because they kind of start off with like that flirtatious banter back and forth that's very believable, that you could kind of buy into and everything. Like, they start off mostly as friends, but you can tell there's something more brewing between them. Seeing their banter and seeing their relationship develop was actually something I could get behind in this movie. That actually completely worked. The biggest problem with this movie though is, okay, this is a 90-minute movie, it's around 90 minutes, that doesn't really know where it wants to go with its story. Because one of the subplots in this movie is the girl whose father runs this pizza shop. He's the former boxer. He owes some money to this loan shark that he shouldn't be messing with. And this kid's been hanging around the pizza shop a lot. So, he looks at the father. He's like, I did Kung Fu in China. I could probably give you some pointers to get you back in the boxing game, win you some money to square off your debt. And so the first half of the movie is him kind of reteaching this guy boxing. Well, not reteaching him boxing, but reincorporating Kung Fu into boxing. And the problem I have with that is just, for me, it felt weird to see this kid teaching this older guy tips on fighting. Not really necessarily tips on fighting, but it's not like this guy is green to boxing. This guy was like a former champion or something. So the fact that he needs to have a refresher course with this kid kind of felt weird. And granted, the kid showed him some defense mechanisms that will help him in his fight, or some ways he can punch that actually be more effective. I do get all that, but it's the fact that you have this older guy who's probably going to get into the ring with people who are half his age, and he's supposed to, go in there, win off some prize money that he needs to get himself squared away. I know, for me, it was a little too cheesy, a little too convenient for the movie for my liking. And I think beyond that, the fact that none of that was marketed in the movie whatsoever. Like, in the trailers, in the lead up to it, none of that was even believed to be a thing. You didn't even know this guy was really in the movie. So when the movie's going in that direction for a while, it's kind of got you sitting there when you know there's something further going on with, OG Karate Kid characters. You're kind of sitting there like, what's the point of this? This isn't what I came here for. I don't know, just felt out of place and I couldn't really get behind it. And then eventually along the way, we get into what is the real story, the story that we were all led to believe would be the story of this. Yeah, and it's a very cliche Karate Kid kind of story. And this kid's new from out of town. He starts flirting with this girl. This girl has history with an old karate champion. This karate champion student, he's a fucking dick, so he starts picking on this kid and, starts making his life hell. They decide to even things out at a tournament. But in the original Karate Kid, what they did so much better is the fact that Daniel LaRusso didn't really have much, if any, martial arts experience, and he's going up against Johnny Lawrence, who is a black belt and the best student at Cobra Kai. And it made sense. Once you knew who Kreese was as a teacher and what he was, really drilling into his student's head, you saw why Johnny was such a ruthless bully, and you also saw just why Daniel needed Mr. Miyagi as much as he did if he was going to have any shot in this. And Daniel was really put through hell in the original Karate Kid. It completely made sense why he had to even it out. If he didn't, life was gonna suck for him. This movie, for me, two problems. One, this kid, Li Fan, is from China and was taking Kung Fu lessons under Mr. Han and was a good student under Mr. Han. Now, I understand. I'll be the first one to let you know that Kung Fu and Karate are two very different martial arts. But at the same time, Li Fan being a good Kung Fu student, going up against a karate student, rather, how is the karate student able to whoop this guy's ass when they fight? Like, there's one moment at school, they get into a fight with each other, and, the kid's, just really not even trying against Lee, and Lee can't even land a single blow against the guy. It's like, shouldn't you be able to put up a little bit more of a fight against him? I mean, it shouldn't be this easy for the guy, and it clearly was. And also, there was really no development with this character. I mean, you see a little bit here and there. Bits and pieces of what he's being taught at his karate school and by his teacher, but again, there's not a whole lot of development with his character, like what his background was, what he's really being taught, his history with this girl. He's just in this movie because we need to have a bully, we need to have an antagonist, and that's just what he's here for. I mean, even in the original Karate Kid, the build-up to the tournament was something. In this one, they square off in the school parking lot, and then, it's broken up, and he goes like, let's sell this at the tournament, I'll see you there. It's like, oh, okay, we're just gonna get right into it like that? Okay, I felt we could have done a little bit more with that, but no, we had to see a retired boxer get back into the ring. And yeah, really, it's not until, I don't even want to say the second half, I want to say like 2/3 into the movie, that's when Mr. Han and Daniel LaRusso finally show up to train Lee on the art of Kung Fu and Karate, to make him like this super martial arts student, if you will. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys right now, I don't feel like Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan had real chemistry with each other, namely in their characters. I mean, the whole time they're trying to teach Lee the different arts of Karate and Kung Fu and how they can intertwine, how can they mix and mash together, how he can go up against this bully and beat him. These two were just bickering with each other the whole time, like they're kind of contradicting each other with the lessons they're trying to teach Lee. Lee's getting frustrated, he's getting confused. Also, again, compared to the original Karate Kid, I can't help it, I'm human. But in the original Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi trained Daniel for, I want to say, like, what was it, like 2 months? He was training him to become the karate student that he could contend with these Cobra Kai students in. They established this one, it's like, alright Lee, you have 1 week to get ready for this tournament. So there's a lot to be done. I know, I have a very hard time that in just 1 week, Daniel LaRusso and Mr. Han were able to cram everything they could into this kid to get him ready for this tournament. But, naturally because the script says it has to happen, it happened. And even Ralph Macchio himself, I mean, it's not like he has a very memorable role in this movie. I mean, every scene that you've seen with him in the trailer is pretty much what you see of him in this movie. Like, there's not a whole lot that goes on with his characters, there's not a whole lot that's really developed with him as he's teaching this kid. Now, granted, you might say, well, Cobra Kai has been his development. That entire show was him growing as a teacher and all that. It's like, yeah, sure it was. So why am I not seeing more of it here? It was really frustrating with me. I feel like they wasted Daniel LaRusso. I kind of feel like they wasted Mr. Han as well. And yeah, when it comes to the actual fight scenes in this movie, these fight scenes, I'm sorry, they weren't done well at all. I mean, the fight scenes in this movie are way too overly choreographed. I mean, there's a moment, again, this doesn't make sense for the story. Like, Lee's girlfriend's dad's getting mugged by these guys. He comes in, completely saves his ass, beats these guys' ass. It's like, okay, you can take out all these guys. You can't stand toe-to-toe with your bully. Again, it doesn't make sense. But even still, the fight scenes where he takes down these mugs, the fight scenes in the tournament, they are so poorly shot. I mean, you know how much I love my one continuous takes in movies. This one, it's jump cut to jump cut to jump cut It's very jarring. It just hurts my eyes. I can't even focus on what's happening. Like, you just know, whatever they did with these characters, they had to splice it all together because they couldn't do it all at once. That's how you know the stunt work, the fight choreography, it's not well done here. Even the tournament itself, it's one big montage of just them getting to the final fight, which granted, the original one kind of was a big montage, but come on, that montage was fucking awesome. The music, the fights between all the different karate students, it was great. This one, completely and utterly forgettable. There's no great music, there's no other characters that stand out that Lee has to go through. Nobody cares. So all in all, Karate Kid Legends, it was a waste of time. Ben Wayne gave a good performance. I was able to get behind his relationship with the girl that he meets. But aside from that, the story, it feels like two different movies spliced into one, neither of which makes sense for one another. Wanted to care more about the relationship with the people that he had in his life. I mean, the relationship he had with Mr. Han, I didn't really care that much for. The relationship with his mom, the movie wanted to care more about, but I couldn't really get behind. Yeah, they were hit with a pretty big tragedy before they came out here, and yeah, I wish I cared more. I just didn't. The bully was very underdeveloped. I didn't care about him or his backstory. I really didn't care for him as an antagonist. Daniel LaRusso feels completely shoehorned into this movie. I didn't like his chemistry with Mr. Han. I didn't feel like they made very good teachers for this kid. The fight scenes are sloppy. The tournament was completely forgettable. In the end, I went to this movie hoping it could add something new and special to this resurrected Karate Kid franchise. But now, it just kind of feels like Sony just saw it as IP for a quick cash grab. I'm not sure it's really going to work out that way. So yeah, despite a couple things going for it, I'm still going to give Karate Kid Legends a 3 out of 10 because this movie's still just bad. It's bad! Easily the biggest letdown of the year so far, that is for sure. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video, and as always, definitely leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.